To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when you're not? Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. 40 years ago, March 27th, 1975, it was 40 years ago, just this past March, I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. Every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil, I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975, she said, boy, you are gonna travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now mind you, I was flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the army. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and she's telling me I'm gonna travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God.
The thing that makes God amazing, one of the things that makes God so amazing is that he can come to you on your level. You don't have to come from a religious tradition or a faith background for God to reveal himself to you. He can reveal himself to you through a rock. He can reveal himself to you through a piece of bread, because he is the rock of ages and he is the bread of heaven. He can take something that you do understand and use it to reveal something that you don't understand, so that nobody is left out. God wants to put you in a place of still waters. He wants to put you in a place of still waters, not hurricanes, not tornadoes, not turbulence of any kind. He wants to put you in a place of still waters. There may be turbulence all around you, but he wants your center to be still, to be calm. You must have a calm place in order to deal with all the chaos in your periphery. You cannot have still waters until you release or let go many of the things that are distracting you and invading your space. Seemingly, when the enemy knows that God is going to use you in a mighty way, he does everything he can to upset the very genesis of your life, to kind of set you on a path of destructive behavior, to limit any self-esteem that you might have. He doesn't do that. He doesn't fight anybody that's not destined to go anywhere. But when he senses that there's greatness inside of you, the attack comes early. You've been through all kinds of stuff, and that is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of greatness. And over a period of time, God begins to bring forth his purpose. Most people get up out of the bed in the morning to see what's going to happen. And then there are a elect group of people who get up out of the bed to make something happen. You have to decide which category you're going to be in. Either you're going to get up on the bed and sit on the side of the bed and say, well, Lord, what am I going to do today? Or you're going to wake up with an agenda and an urgency and a direction and a focus. See, when you got direction, you resist distraction.
I believe in a higher power. Don't know the name, don't know where it's coming from, don't know anything like that. But I believe that this power, and visualize with me real quick. Let's say it's a man up there or a woman, whatever, and they have a chart. And when you're born, they say David Goggins, born February 17, 1975 at 6 a.m. They write the chart down because they can see everything. They know exactly where you're supposed to be. They know where you're supposed to be. You die, you go to so-called heaven. You arrive at heaven, I'm 300 pounds. I retired as an Ecolab guy, which is okay, it's just a job, whatever. I go up there and God looks at me and he shows me my chart. And my chart on there says you were supposed to be a Navy SEAL. You're supposed to weigh 185 pounds. You're supposed to be one of the smartest people on the planet, this, all this. You see this. And now you're in heaven, you made it to heaven, but you're like, God, Doug, I was supposed to live that life. I was supposed to live that life. And then you find out that the reason why, because we all think that if we pray on it, if we do this, if we do that, whatever, we don't work, we just, whatever, it's gonna magically happen for us. No, I believe that when I'm all said and done with, my whole job is to outwork the chart. Whatever the chart says about me, the all-knowing power up there, I want to get up there and say, him look at me and say, I know everything. I didn't see this. I want to feel that. I want to get to the other end of this world, and however I'm being judged, whoever's judging me, to look at me and say, I did not know, I had you at 185, I had you at this, but all this other I was riding as you were living it. I want to find more, all I can. And in that sack of you have to dive in that to find more. Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You're gonna live right here on surface, man, right here on surface. So if there is an ending to this world and there is somewhere to go and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart. And that chart may tell you who you should have been. And now you get the rest of your life to think about that. Man, I could have lived a much better life. I just would have just suffered a little bit more.
And what can you do when you've done all you can? You just stand. It's one of my favorite gospel songs. Always gives me goosebump fortification when I hear it, especially when Donnie McClurkin sings, prayed and cried, prayed and cried. After you've done all you can, you just stand. Well, I read a story today about a 65-year-old Ukrainian woman who used to pride herself on her beautiful embroidery work and now is sewing bulletproof vests for soldiers and grateful to still be standing to fight the war. It got me thinking about what it means to keep standing in the face of the most grave adversity. Another story, a man named Yuri huddled in a church basement saying, "It's hell here. Imagine 200 people sitting in one room for 2 days. We can't even breathe fresh air." Well, I don't want to imagine it, but I know we are not supposed to turn away as the days drag on and the Ukrainian people keep standing in the face of such terror and devastation. So in our own lives, what can we do to keep standing for what's right, what's just, or what will bring us peace? Martha Beck says, peace is our home. You deserve peace. And we know that what the world needs from all of us is more peace.
My spiritual practice is stillness when I first awaken, allowing myself the moments of awareness and recognition that it is a magnificent thing to be a human being here and now. And the glory and beauty of that sustains and has brought me a peace that I cannot even explain. There is a richness and a wealth and a peace that goes beyond any material possession or award or acclaim or anything that you could acquire.
This is a reality check. This is the moment an opportunity comes your way. This is a chance for you to realize that you got work to do.
Do you not realize that you are equipped to overcome every challenge that stands in the way of the vision that you have for your life? It begins with making a decision.
It takes strength to fight through adversity. It takes strength to fight through setbacks. And the longer you go, the stronger you get. The longer you go, the stronger you get. All you need is stamina. All you need is mental and emotional stamina. You're going to get tired. You're going to get fatigued. But sometimes you got to catch that second win. Some of you ain't been fighting long enough to get that second win. Some of you ain't been grinding long enough to get that second win. When that second win kicks in, oh, you unstoppable. When that second win kicks in, can't nobody stop you. That second win, it's right around the corner. That second win, it's almost there. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep pulling. And when your second win kicks in, oh, they in trouble. And that requires you to have your mind made up.
But you have the opportunity every single day to make extraordinary decisions. And what you do today will determine your future.
There's no weakness that can be invited to this party. If you want something, go get it now. You're looking for reps? You're looking for 10 reps? You're looking for 12 reps? How about 13? How about 14? How about 20? How about 50? How about giving it everything you got until there's nothing else left to give?
If you could hear your future self talking to you now, the future you would say, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for not throwing in the towel. Thank you for not allowing the despair and the anguish and the anger and the bitterness and the jealousy and the ego to eat away at your progress and your perseverance and your ability to travail and endure.
But I want this so bad. I'm not about to let this pain stop me. I'm not going to let my past failures and my past mistakes stop me.
And go after what it is that you are seeking, because the opportunities are yours. Go get it now, and give it everything you got.
Because the victory goes to those who finish. The victory goes to those who never give up.
You might be feeling the pressure of life right now. But don't let the pressure take your eyes off the finish line. To others, it might look like you already have a good life, but you know what you want for you. Everyone won't understand why you go so hard, and they don't need to, because it's your journey. It's your decision, and it's your understanding of your why that matters.
You're the only person who needs to be okay with how you live your life. You could be hated by everyone, and if you're okay with your actions and behavior, you'll be content. At the same time, you could be loved and adored by every damn person on the planet. But if you're not okay with how you've lived your life, you'll go to bed with emptiness.
It took time for people to doubt you. It's going to take time for people to believe in you. Are you willing to pay the price to flip the script? How long will it take for you to shift? I mean, it took a while for you to talk yourself out of it, and it's going to take a while to talk yourself into it. Giving up might have been what you used to be, but not now, not today, not anymore, because you control the label, baby. You do what you do. By what you do, people gonna know you. It takes strength to keep going. We got to get in the weight room. It takes strength to get going. We got to build our mind up. It takes strength to get going. You got to get around the right people. It takes strength to finish.
This is it right here. This is that moment that you got to work. This is that moment when you got to push. There is no weakness in the place of business. There is no time to be wasted in the place of business.
There are going to be times when you give everything you have. And everything that you have is not enough. Push through the pain. Push through the anguish. Push through the brokenness. Do not stop. It's the no quit mentality.
Yes, you're going to get tired. Yes, you're going to get frustrated. Yes, you're going to feel like giving up. Listen, I need you to give this last rep everything you got.
You got to make the opportunity happen. You got to be fired up. You got to be hungry for it. You got to have the desire to push yourself.
No matter what you set out to do, your first word should always be, I believe in me.
You were overlooked the last time, but show up again. Why? Because you are not finished. It is not over. You are not done. It is not too late. What matters is that you believe in you. What matters is that you believe in your vision.
You simply have to give it everything you have to get it. You need to shut down all negativity and frankly, not give a shit what others say and think. You want to know what the 10 most dangerous words in the English language are? What will other people say? And what will other people think?
Celebrate the small wins. If we keep looking at the big picture, if we keep looking at the end game, if that's all we fix our eyes on, then we'll get off kilter. We'll lose our footing and we'll walk around discouraged because you're not going to just wake up in one day and fulfill destiny. It's the process that's perfecting us.
So are you willing to make the tough decisions? Are you willing to get up every time you fall? Success looks glamorous from the outside looking in, but there is always a price to pay.
Do what makes you happy and do what you think is right. At the end of the day, if you and you alone can look yourself in the mirror and be content with the choices you've made, then that's all that matters.
I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your story is. Only you know your story. Only you know your journey, but you got to make sure you understand how this thing is made. You're running this race by yourself. So don't worry what place you come in. I want you to start, I want you to finish, and I want you to never give up.
If you're not hungry, if you don't have the grit, if you don't have the tenacity, then you're not going to get what you're looking for.
But you got to have that mindset that quitting is not an option. Give up? Who, me? Never. Stop? Who, me? Never. That's for the next guy. That's for the next girl. But not me. Why? Because I don't quit. That ain't how I do it. That ain't how I roll. I never give up.
If you truly want that greatness, you got to work hard. You got to dig a little bit deeper. You got to find it. You got to go after it. Because it's not looking for you. Success is not looking for you. You got to go get it.
What is it that you can do today to get closer to the manifestation of the future? What are you doing today? What are you giving today?
The sacrifices, the tears, the late nights, the early mornings, all of it will be worth it.
Today could be today that your career is over. Now what do you do? I said, I better get to work. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. I'm not going to rest. I'm going to keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time.
Have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never, ever rest in the middle.
I came into the NBA, I was like, man, this dude's really hard. One of the things I would do is while everybody would be at the cafeteria work, eating and doing all sort of stuff, I just go back to the gym. How can I show you that, no, I have the attention? Well, you do it through training, right? So when I get up in the morning, my daughter goes with me.
4 a.m.?
4 a.m. My 15-year-old goes with me. She goes with me before school, and it becomes a daddy-daughter thing.
That's cool.
Through that process, she understands the value of hard work. And so it's through those behaviors is where I find the motivation to do it. I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should do. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. It's not sit around and it's all happy-go-lucky type of thing. The leader, your job is to get the best out of it. You gotta deal with it. Face it, learn from it. It's exciting when you win, it's exciting when you lose, because the process should be exactly the same. But the hardest thing is to face that stuff. But what if today is the day that's it. Now what do you do?
What can I say? Mamba out.
My parents were great. Growing up, they instilled in me the importance of imagination, of curiosity, and understanding that, okay, if you want to accomplish something, I'm not just going to sit here and say, yes, you can do whatever you want. Yes, you can, but you have to also put in the work to get there, right? So they taught me that at a really early age, man. And when you grow up as a kid thinking that the world is your oyster, all things are possible if you put in the work to do it, you grow up having that fundamental belief.
Who was more influential for you, your father or mother?
Both were influential at different points.
Yeah.
Right? My mom was there on a daily basis. My father was really influential at a really critical time where I had a summer where I played basketball around like 10 or 11 years old. And here I come playing and I don't score 1 point the entire summer, not one.
You didn't score once?
Not one.
Were you in the game?
I was in the game.
How'd you not score?
Because I was terrible. Not a free throw, nothing. Not a lucky shot, not a breakaway layup, 0 points. And I remember crying about it and being upset about it. And my father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm gonna love you no matter what.
Wow.
Now that is the most important thing that you can say to a child. Because from there, I was like, okay, that gives me all the confidence in the world to fail. I have the security there. But the hell with that, I'm scoring 60. Let's go.
Right.
And from there, I just went to work. I stayed with it. I kept practicing. I think that's when the idea of understanding the long-term view became important. Because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year. Right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought. Right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, nothing but shoot. All right, after that, all right, creating your own shot. Focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better. And then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old, and then I was just killing everyone. And it happened in 2 years. And I wasn't expecting it to happen in 2 years, but it did, because what I had to do was work on the basics and the fundamentals. While they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to me. And then my body, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame.
Then your athleticism, once you have the fundamentals, the hard work, the mindset, and you tack on the athleticism, it's game over.
Then it was game.
Wow.
Love of the game, the challenge. Like I would watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. And so that curiosity to see where I could push this thing led me down that path, I think.
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
Greatness lies ahead for this young man.
Well, I learned that you have to work hard and you have to approach the game with a serious mindset.
There was a stretch in 03 where Shaq was out with an injury. And Phil called me up to his office and said, okay, we need you to really turn on the afterburner to start scoring the ball if we have to play. So I did, and I wound up scoring, I think it was 9 straight games, 40 plus points.
9 straight?
9 straight games. And then Shaq comes back, second to last game of that. And then Phil called me up to his office and said, Coach, okay, I need you to dial it back. I'm like, why? Like, we're winning. I don't understand. It's because our goal is to win a championship. But if you continue to do this, we'll lose Shaq. We'll lose him.
His motivation, his excitement.
What triggers him, right? So I need you to pull back so we can pull Shaq forward for June. Wow. And that was the big challenge, is you move from, being the single dominant player to understanding, okay, I have to help these other guys.
Or lift everyone else up.
It's tough. It's more like you put yourself to the side, and you put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're feeling. And then you have to make certain decisions of, okay, what buttons do I need to push for this player to get them to the next level? So it's not sit around and it's all happy-go-lucky time. The leader, your job is to get the best out of them. Even if they may not like it at that time.
He was very demanding because he expected everyone to put in the same effort as he was. And that was unrealistic.
You're not behind me, you're not in front of me, you're right there parallel with me.
Practice was very competitive right away. You know how Kobe is. He was jarring, we had it going sometimes.
He didn't let me slip a lot. Times where I get ejected or about to get a technical foul or going off the deep end. He would be there to, set me straight a lot, which helped me a lot.
So we get in the timeout, and he's like, hey, I'm open. I'm like, okay. And so we go out, and same thing, come, hey, I'm open. Okay. There you go. Come back in. Hey, dude, you got to throw me the ball. I said, man, fuck that. Get it off the rebound if I miss, bro. Listen, I don't deal with people that don't commit at that level, but then act as if they do.
The running joke, he doesn't pass and all sorts of crap. I mean, that's okay. I'll take those 5. I'll take 5.
Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Like, success is getting what you want. Fulfillment is living what you're made for. Fulfillment and success, they're not even the same universe. People ask me all the time, what does it take to be happy? And I always tell them it's really simple. One word, progress. Progress equals happiness. If you keep growing, you're going to feel alive. And if you keep growing, you're going to have more to give. It doesn't matter how many statues, Oscars they give you, or Emmys, or how much money you have in the bank. We've all seen people have all those things, and I get the phone call because they're depressed, or somebody commits suicide in that area. It's really an inner game, and I think that's what's missing for us today. Everybody's focusing on the outside world, and how there's a lot of things in the outside world you'll never be able to control. You can influence, but you can't control it. This, your mind, your emotions, your body, you have 100% control over what you do with these things, and that's where the game is won. Win the inner game, then you win the outer game. But a lot of people spent their life trying to win the outer game, they won, and they're miserable. Someone can tell you your whole life you're a piece of crap, but you can say, screw you, read between the lines, and make your life work. Someone can tell you your whole life you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're the smartest person in the world, and you don't believe it. Because self-esteem doesn't come from what people say about you. Self-esteem is earned within yourself. It's esteem for yourself, which only comes by doing things that are incredibly difficult, and then your brain goes, this is who I am. You really got to figure out what you're made for, and nobody knows in the beginning. So you start where you are and you do what's in front of you, you do what's next, and you keep growing until you start to discover, hey, this is my real passion. So identity is the number one thing I work to change with people, to expand it. Expand your own sense of who you really are and what you're capable of. And the mindset has to be destroy any limitation and move forward, move forward, move forward. I think passion is the genesis of genius. If you've got enough passion, you're going to find answers nobody else does. But most people run out of fuel, meaning they get tired, they get exhausted, they get burnt out, they get, the law of familiarity. They're around something so much they take it a little bit for granted. And I've managed to see something in myself that I found in every great leader that I've ever respected, and that is I value intelligence immensely, but I know really smart people can't fight their way out of a paper bag pragmatically, right? What I see as the one common denominator of people that are successful over a lifetime is the sustained hunger. Hunger is the number one factor. You need to be good at pattern recognition, and that's what gets somebody strong at anything. I mean, you look at, why is Amazon doing so well? He realized one pattern was valued over anything else, convenience. Right? If you look at Tom Brady, a friend of mine, he's got pattern recognition like nobody else at 43 years old. He's able to do things no one dreamed could be done. He's got more Super Bowl rings than any team. See, what do they see that none of us see? What's the pattern? Then you got to learn pattern utilization. It's one thing to see it, it's another thing to use it. And then if you're good after a while, you get to pattern creation. It's like if you learn to play the piano, most people play other people's music. And then there's a point you've learned so much that you're able to create. Really comes down to anyone can learn anything if it's important enough to you. So it's like my drive is not just for me. That wouldn't be enough because it's easy to meet your own needs. It's not that difficult. But if you can find something that you care about more than yourself, your daughter, your son, your family, your business, your mission, your community, whatever it is, that's really the secret to energy and vitality and strength and really learning. One of the things I want to do with people during this challenge is take things that seem so complex and make them so simple so you do it. Get it really simple, things you can do right now to change your life. You can go and experience it that day, and then you get momentum. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and all of a sudden now what used to be hard to do is easy to do. And I think for anyone, you got to understand anyone can learn anything if you can just break it down to its simple core, and that's what I try to do most. And I'm just not willing to settle for a life without passion and aliveness. That's just like there's so much to learn, there's so much to grow, there's so much to give, and I'm wired to grow and give. And I think anybody gets wired to grow and give is going to have a really fulfilling life. It doesn't matter what you choose to do, you're going to be alive. A year ago, people thought we were coming out of, we got vaccines now, and we're coming out of COVID, and it's going to be all over now, and people are excited. But now, after going through 2 years of this, there's a lot of people now that no longer have a compelling future. Like, people talking about New Year's resolutions. Most people don't even have one because it's like they never followed through anyway, right? But at least they had something to look forward to. They're starting to get into learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is when something is so bad over and over again, you start thinking the problem's permanent. No problem is permanent. Or you start thinking the problem's pervasive because I haven't handled my finances, my whole world's over. Or because my relationship's bad, my whole world's over. Your life is bigger than that. My goal right now is to shake that up for people. People need a new perspective, and you can't do it by just sitting and thinking. You gotta move your body. You gotta change your energy and your focus. But if I get you into a higher state of being, mentally, emotionally, physically, then all of a sudden you start remembering who you are and you start coming up with answers that you never even thought were possible before.
The idea of remembering who you are is something incredibly powerful. There was a Batman cartoon where he gets amnesia and he gets put in like a camp, basically, a work camp, and he can't get out. And he feels stuck and weak and, afraid. And then something happens, I don't remember what, triggers his memory. And he remembers that he's Batman. Just in remembering that he's Batman, he then takes the actions to fight his way out. And look, I know it's a cartoon, but that has always resonated with me. And whenever I'm feeling anxious about something, I always tell myself, remember who you are.
But you're really talking about the most important concept in lasting change, identity. We all define ourselves in certain ways. So you start where you are and you do what's in front of you, do what's next, and you keep growing until you start to discover, hey, this is my real passion. And it can change. People go for 5, 6, 7 years and then they usually question their business, their career, their body, their relationships. And then one of two things happens. They change direction and feel renewed, or they go, no, I got a great deal here. What the hell's wrong with me? And they recommit and they get stronger. But that's life. And if you don't grow, I don't give a damn how much you got going for you, you're going to be miserable. I think as early on I realized, one of the things you have to understand about life is everything changes and everything ends. And that kind of sounds heavy on the front end, but it's a truth. If everything changes and everything ends, number one, it should make you appreciate what you have right now. And then my view is what's next is always better. If I make it so, it's my job to make it so. And I think that's how we have to navigate. But most of us have been conditioned not to take a risk. People ask me all the time, what does it take to be happy? And I always tell them it's really simple. One word, progress.
You've lost touch with who you are, the core of your being. You're on social media too much. You're listening to what other people are telling you. You got to listen to yourself. You got to cut all that shit out. You have to look at the things that you love and the things that you hate. So what you don't like is very instructive to you, right? You're looking at things that are very powerful inside of you, that are emotional. They're not intellectual. They're feelings, they're emotions. They're visceral things that you connect to. I've always followed the laws of power, which is change things up, enter action with boldness, don't be afraid to do things differently, adapt your strategy to the circumstances. It's never too late. The earlier you figure it out, the better off you are, but it can happen later in life. Now, I figured out at an early age that I wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to write, but I loved words and I loved writing. And if I didn't have that connection when I was 8 years old, all the way into high school and college, I would have been a lost soul. And I empathize with a lot of people who don't have that feeling when they're 8 or 18 or in their 20s. But I'm trying to tell people everybody has it. You're just not listening to yourself. You've lost touch with who you are. There are 5 forms of intelligence. We normally associate intelligence with intellectuals, with our Noam Chomsky, with Albert Einstein. No, intelligence comes in all forms. Working with your hands is a form of intelligence. A carpenter has a high form of intelligence. People who are sports, who athletically use their body, that's another form of intelligence. There's music, there's math, there's language. You have one of these frames of mind. By the way your brain is wired, you are inclined towards one of them. Figure that out. You got to be a bit bold. You have to embrace what makes you different. It takes time. To do anything in life takes time and hours, patience, and work. So I like to tell people to go back to their earliest childhood memories of things that really excited them before they got mixed up with parents, teachers, and all that. Other people telling them stuff, you know? You got to cut all that shit out. You know, I was frustrated. I was depressed. I even have to admit I had moments that were slightly suicidal because I knew deep down that I could do something. I was different from other people. I had different experiences, you know, and I knew that there was something I needed to express. There was a purpose to how my life had unfolded, but I couldn't find it. I had tried everything. I had tried every form of writing, every possible endeavor you can imagine. It just didn't click. So I was very deeply frustrated. And the frustration, I tell people, it's a good thing. Negative emotions are trying to teach you something. They're trying to teach you the opposite. Something else is going on. Frustration, what would be worse than frustration would be despair, giving up. No hope, but frustration is a sign that you haven't given up. You know you can do something, but you haven't figured it out. So when you have those kind of feelings, look at them, and there's something positive in that. So I knew that there was something I was meant to do. I just couldn't figure it out when. It's easy for me, a boomer, I have to admit that, to preach to you when you have gone through you've gone through a pandemic, what looks like to be a recession, and then if you're a millennial, you went through the crash in 2008. It's easy for me to preach. You're dealing with really difficult circumstances. So a lot of people are rethinking their lives. They don't want to work at crap jobs just to get by. And I applaud that 100%, right? That's great. So you want to think about working for yourself is the ultimate position in this world. And even though times are difficult, even though it may seem like just a dream, there's so much potential out there for entrepreneurial spirit, for creating your own startup, for creating your own podcast, for going your own path in life. You don't have to follow other people. It's not like it was when I was growing up. There were things that were better back then, but there are things that were a lot worse, right? You have so many more options. It's just that you're not going to reach them. You're not going to be happy in this short time that you have to be alive unless you take it seriously and still have some fun and adventure and excitement. You got to listen to yourself, and you have to embrace what makes you different. Just don't listen to your parents go, I got to be making $100,000 when I'm 23 and go to law school and do all this stuff. You're going to burn out. So kind of understand I guess the main thing I would say is know who you are, know what you're deep down in your core, what you love, what you hate, and what you were destined to create in this world. That's like the most important process to go through. Everybody has that potential. But I know it doesn't come easy. It's a process, and you have to be patient, but you have to put in the work. But another skill that you cannot ignore is the social. We're social animals. And there are a lot of people in life who ignore that because they're shy. And I was very shy as a young man. I was mostly quite introverted as well. Because they're shy, they just simply lean on their own strength, which is learning something really well, learning math or learning algorithms or learning how to write, etc. And they ignore the social because they're afraid of it. But you cannot get ahead in this world as a social animal dependent on other people in every aspect of life unless you treat that as another skill as well. So yes, the process of looking inward is absolutely essential, but you cannot disconnect yourself from your teachers, your mentors, your colleagues. You could have all the skill in the world and know your life's task brilliantly. But if you continually alienate people by your boorish behavior, by your insensitivity, all of the skill level in the world will be completely neutralized by your own mistakes. I didn't listen to other people. At so many turning points in my life, I could have been discouraged. People could have said, I had somebody say, Robert, you're never going to be a good writer in life. You need to go to business school, etc. My parents tried to funnel me this way or that way. I was stubborn and I was rebellious and I did my own thing. And because of that, I have kind of a different voice from other people, right? And when I look at books out there, I'm searching for that voice of somebody who's different, who has something different to say, who speaks in a different tone of voice, that has their blood and their personality in their writing. And I don't find it often, but when I do, it's a great thing. And so, to me, success in life is kind of being who you are. There's a famous expression of the great ancient Greek poet Pindar about become who you are. It's a process of becoming who you actually are and realizing what it is. So we talked about my weirdness earlier on, and following that has allowed me to craft my own message, which is basically about opening your eyes up to the reality of the world and what people are like. But I'm not able to do that unless I had ignored what other people tried to foist on me earlier on in life. It's never too late.
I want to talk to someone out there who is thinking about quitting and giving up. Someone that is hurting and struggling. Someone that is feeling lost. This is for you. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. The hard times that you are going through are going to pass. Remember this. They are going to pass. You have overcome every single challenge that you have faced so far. Without failures or challenges, there could be no success. It is a necessary step. Stay in it. Stay focused. It's hard, but it is worth fighting for. It's worth believing. Tough times don't last. How people do. Your pain is your power. Your pain is your passion. You suffer so you can be much stronger tomorrow. You suffer to remind yourself that you have to go through something to get to the next level. You have to find a way. You must find a way to get back up. This is not the end for you. You will not quit. Do not take this life for granted. Live every moment knowing you will have no regrets. We are alive and breathing and capable of more than we could ever imagine. Life is not easy. We all go through hard times, but we do not need to stay in the hard times. Most of the people out here have given up. They spend all day long watching television, playing video games. There's nothing, I mean absolutely nothing wrong with just having a good time and relaxing. But if you're watching television for 8 hours a day, all day, every single day, there's something inside of you that wants more for your life. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to make a change. What can you do to move closer to your goals and your dreams and your passion? You, my friend, have the power to make a difference, to make an impact. It is not over for me. I am going to make it. This is my comeback story. Let's make up in our minds that before the battle, we are going to be victorious. Start accepting that things are changing. It's hard being down. And it's hard getting through this. Choose your battles. Why am I hurting? What am I doing here? How did I get to this place? I've been good. I haven't done that bad. I'm not a bad person. You don't have to be bad to experience bad things. Because sometimes bad things happen to good people. So it doesn't mean that you're out. It doesn't mean that you're done. It means you are living. It means you are growing. It means that it's necessary. Let it be. Carry on, but let it be. Keep pushing, but let it be. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. Don't be afraid. Let it hurt a little bit. Let it sting a little bit. Let it serve its purpose. Because that purpose that you are experiencing, it's necessary just for you. It's tailor-fit for you. I got to go through my problems. I got to go through my circumstances. I've been through them. I'm going through them right now. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to every living human being that is listening to me today. Look at my face. Look into my eyes. Hear my voice. And know that it's not over for you. Know that the pain, the hurt, and the setbacks, and the failures, all of these things must happen. Why? Because you exist. Your purpose means something. But if you're going to get to the top, you got to know what it feels like to be at the bottom. You got to know what it feels like to crawl through the dirt and the mud and all of the things that you don't feel comfortable in being in. But then you will get up and you will go up. But as you're going up, there's going to be more circumstances, more problems, more issues, things that are going to put you back. But ladies and gentlemen, you're not dead. You are breathing. You are alive. You are alive, but you're hurting. You're alive and you're breathing. You're alive and you're walking. You're alive and you're running. So while you're hurting, keep going. If you're feeling pain, keep going. If your heart is beating, keep going. If your lungs are working, keep going. But don't you dare give up. Don't you quit. You hurt, you grow, you go. And from the bottom of my heart, keep it moving and conduct your business.
In order to achieve greatness, you must first believe you can.
What do you want? What do you like? You got to be able to add passion to it to activate that thing and make that dream a reality.
The reason why you're not taking advantage of this opportunity is not because you don't believe in it, you don't believe in you.
What would you like to do? What do you believe you've been destined to do? What talents, skills, giftings, and abilities do you possess to support your desire to do it? What are your motives for wanting to do it? Why do you want to become what you are looking to become? What steps are you taking to become and to live the life, to make the dream a reality?
You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you.
So you must continue to believe. You must continue to understand that on this day, on this hour, this is your day and your time is now. Hold on tight and don't let go. Focus on what is necessary and disconnect yourself from the things that are not necessary.
I spoke it, the world heard it, and it activated. Your problem is that you don't believe you belong here. Your problem is that you don't think you should be sitting down here. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You've got to sell yourself every day, every day, every day. According to your level of belief, it will manifest itself in what you're doing. Whatever we have right now, whatever we're demonstrating in our lives, is a result of what we believe subconsciously that we deserve. And part of increasing that belief level is that you have got to convince yourself every day.
Many of you have been selling yourself short all of your life. You have the opportunity to experience more environmental, physical, and mental abundance. Someone who is in a constant state of elevation. Their self-talk is, I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I know where I came from.
Working on yourself, talking to yourself, that's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up.
When are you going to realize that you got to get to a point and focus on the better things that are going to get you to the next level and beyond in your life?
Persistence, consistency, resilience, courage, establishing your priorities, mastering self-awareness, maintaining focus, believing that your help is coming, because if your dream only requires you, it's not big enough.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts.
All you got to do is realize that it's up to you to make a difference in your life.
The only reason you're not the best right now is because you don't believe you're the best now. And when you walk out this room, I want you to go in and I'm the best right now. He said, before you even become number one, start to proclaim it and say it long before it happens. So there are those of you who want to mimic their behavior. It's not their behavior you need. It's their mindset that you need. It's the way they think is what you need. You need to start to believe. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself, because part of beginning to get a larger vision of yourself, all of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. And people know it.
I don't care what it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to give, how you're trying to evolve, what you are looking to become. Everything rises and falls on your perspective.
If you decide to maintain a sense of integrity with yourself. That if I speak it, I'm going to live it. It's who I am.
I know you hate the gym. I know you hate to lift weights. I know you hate cardio. I know you don't like drinking water. I know you don't like taking care of your temple. You think it's the hardest thing to do in the world to commit. But there is somebody who's in the grave today, and if they had another opportunity to live, they would enthusiastically, with great confidence and courage and consistency, do what you hate just to live a little longer. Find the positive. See the bigger picture. Guard your gratitude. What price are you willing to pay to make the dream a reality?
But just look forward. Look forward to the best of you. Look forward to the mistakes you may make. Look forward to the failures that may come your way.
And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line.
It's up to you to understand that you do matter and that you got some work to do.
If you are alive, you have another opportunity to begin again.
A new opportunity.
Get up and get after it.
It's not about scrolling through social media and looking at people on vacations and looking at the people that are projecting the highlights of their life. It's not about that. It's about, can you do better than you did yesterday? If you're walking through or walk out of or survive the worst trauma and pain of your life, believe that this is the first day of the best days of your life. Get up. Get up. Wake up. There's always another level. And it's not about beating the man or woman that's standing in the room with you. It's about beating the man and the woman that's in the mirror. Can you do better than you did yesterday? That's all I want to ask you. Can you do better? You may be tired, you may be broken, you may be hurting, people may have betrayed you, lied on you, left you, but you refuse to give up. There are going to be days when you are not going to feel like waking up. You are not going to feel like getting out of the bed. You are tired of yourself. You are tired of looking at the face in the mirror that you see. You are tired of maybe the way that your body looks, or the money that you have, or the people that you are connected to. There are going to be days when you are going to be tired of being you. And you got two options. You can give up or get up. This is the day that everything changes. Get up! Rise and grind! Forget waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You may have to lose sleep for a week so that you can accomplish what it is that you've been destined to accomplish. What you were born to contribute to humanity. And so I know it hurts, and I know it's expensive. Everything you need to get to this next level is inside of you. But if you don't count up the cost of what it's going to take, and if you are not willing to pay that price, you cannot have your future. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Just get in the mirror and start speaking life over yourself. You're making progress. This needs you to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Get up. You got a day to conquer. Rise and grind, baby. Let's go. Thank you, Lord, for giving me one more day, one more opportunity, one more meal, one more outfit on my back. Thank you for that one opportunity. If you haven't been able to get up, something inside of you has to snap. You've been insecure long enough. You've been unfit long enough. You've been unqualified long enough. You've been overlooked long enough. You've been undervalued long enough. You've been in this cave. You've been in this deep, dark prison of obscurity and uncertainty and doubt and fear. This is the day you come out of your tomb. In this very moment, you have an opportunity. Seize the opportunity. I'm talking to that person that keeps saying, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to make bigger connections. I'm going to invest in myself. And day after day, you fail. I know you don't feel up to the task. I know you've got some doubt and you've got some fear and you've got some uncertainty and you hate the image that you see in the mirror and you hate the way your money looks and your relationships look and people that you've given your all to keep walking out on you. I know you feel stuck in reverse. I know you feel like you're underpaid and undervalued and overlooked, but listen, get up! This is the day that everything changes. You've got to do what is required in order to manifest. Get up and get after it. So take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. It's a new day. Control, alt, delete. Control yourself, alter your thinking, and delete negativity. Period. What are you made of? What is your DNA? What is your mentality? What are the skill sets? Come on, start to write down the vision. Believe that this is the first day of the best days of your life. Get up and get after it. You are here by design. You are listening to this talk by design. Every day, every single day is a new beginning. And every decision you make is either bringing you to your destiny or taking you from your destiny. Now, some of you got to take everything you have on the inside and claw your way back to right standing. Sometimes you got to dig deep inside. I'm talking to that person that keeps failing the mission. Appreciate what has happened. Appreciate the people that walked out on you. Appreciate the people that hurt you. Appreciate the people that overlooked you. The people that slept on you. Appreciate it. I want you to get this mentality in your head. Every day, you pay. You pay. You may get 2 hours of sleep in 7 days so that you can accomplish what it is that you've been destined to accomplish. Everything you need to get to this next level is inside of you. There's always another level. Seize the opportunity. And every day, every single day, gives you that new opportunity. So if you don't have a to-do list, get a to-do list. If you haven't planned the day, start planning your day the night before. If you don't have a morning routine, get a morning routine. Start your morning with prayer, meditation. If you're not tracking your progress, start tracking your progress. If you don't have accountability partners, you need to get accountability partners. If you have not identified the roadblocks, if you have not identified the kryptonite, if you have not identified the hurdles, what has hindered your forward progress, identify those things. This is your day. Get up and get after it.
This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to give up. Yes, darkness is upon you. But there will come a time the sun will shine. Dawn is upon you now. Can you really see the light? Can you really understand the light within you? Your journey can be seen millions and millions of miles away because you traveled through the darkness. You fought through the darkness. You were down in the darkness. You cried in the darkness. You wandered in the darkness. It is time for you to welcome the light. This emptiness that you are feeling right now, it is only a temporary match, a temporary thing that is going on inside of you right now. It's only temporary, but it is necessary. It is necessary that you struggle. It is necessary that you feel alone. It is necessary that you have to continue to go forward. Nothing can stop this because that light has already been there. That light is embedded in you. That light exists in you. Dawn is coming. The sun is going to rise, and you will see the light within you. Build yourself up. Strengthen your mind. Strengthen your body. Strengthen your soul. And welcome the dawn. You travel down this path. You travel down this path of the unknown. And yet, you are afraid. You are afraid because you don't understand it. You are afraid because you feel empty. You are afraid because no one is there to help you. I would like to introduce you to the light, to the dawn, to the beauty, to the understanding, and knowing that this is the joy. This is the joy that you must embrace. This is the moment of happiness without any despair, without any rejections, but an understanding that you made it, that you made it this far. And no matter what circumstances come your way, the light, the dawn is upon you. It shines on you. It shines on you because you deserve it. You deserve it because you put so much work in. You've been knocked down. You've been pushed aside. No one believed in you. They rejected you. They said you wasn't worthy. Negativity entered into your heart, and you believed it. But then dawn showed up. Dawn showed up. The light showed up and said, take my hand. Walk with me. Let me show you the way. Let me show you how far you can go. Let me let you see the beauty within you. Can you see now with this beautiful bright light that surrounds you, the glow around you? Can you really feel it? Not just on the outside, but on the inside. Yes, dawn is upon you. The light is upon you. You made it through the darkness. And now the light shines upon you. There are going to be many other struggles. There are going to be many other challenges. And yes, darkness will come again. But you built up something. You built up a resistance. You built up an opportunity within you. You built up the strength that many others don't have. So regardless of darkness, regardless of light, you keep your head up high and you keep moving forward. Don't quit. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on the best of you. This is your time. Through the darkness, you rose above it. You understood what you had to do. You didn't wait for anybody. You didn't wait for anyone to rescue you. You knew what had to be done, and you did it. This is the dawn. This is what you've been chasing. This is the happiness that you were seeking. But it is up to you to continue the journey. You can't stop. The light is within you. Dawn is upon you. It is a beautiful day. It is an amazing day. Can you see? Whatever you had the chance to do yesterday won't come back. But you have this moment. You have this chance to do something great with this life that you have been given. You may have been through a lot in your life. You may have been through hell in your life. But hell doesn't own you. Hell did not create you. Life has been given to you from a higher power. Something that you need to understand, that no matter who you are in this world that we live in today, everyone must struggle. Everyone must suffer. What about the other people out here who can't walk? What about the people out there who can't talk? What about the people out there that are suffering from diseases they cannot be cured from? What about you? What are you gonna do about the life you have? How far are you gonna go? Do you feel sorry for yourself because you're having a bad day? Do you feel sorry for yourself because you lost your job? Do you feel sorry for yourself because you just feel like you're just not having the day that you want to have because the day that you have is not the way you want it to go? We all got a responsibility. We all got to be accountable. We all got to put in work, but don't give up, because there's somebody out there right now that is hurting. There's somebody out there right now that is struggling. There's somebody out there right now that's got it a little bit tougher than you do. So why are you going to give up now?
Don't live in the mundane. Don't stay in the messy. Don't stay in the madness, but make room for the miracles. We get so caught up in the mundane that, man, where's the magical? When we were kids, it was like, can we play? No, but you got to clean your room. But then, can I play? Remember, we were always looking for magic. When I went to Disneyland as a 7-year-old and I saw Tomorrowland, Frontierland, and I saw all these different lands, and I saw Mickey Mouse up close, Donald Duck up close, the fireworks show at 9:30 at night. My life changed. It was all about a different perspective. From Compton, California, and the things I saw there, going to Disneyland, it was literally only like 40 miles away. 40 miles away, I was about to have a life change it's another vantage point. And we've heard it before. Mindset is mind to set. Your mindset is mind to set. You begin to see those things that have not yet happened as though they're possible. Because then you get the miracle mentality. All of a sudden you're thinking uncommon, not normal, not regular. Before I became great friends with Oprah, I saw myself being great friends with Oprah. So when we started talking a lot, it didn't throw me off. I've envisioned these conversations. I saw it before it even happened. It's a destiny, it's a faith, and it's the power of the imagination. When Robert Downey was working on some of his projects, he did not see Iron Man coming. You never know when you will become a superhero. And that's the beauty of life. You can go from being challenged, having difficulties in your life, wondering if you're going to be stuck in that same place, to the next thing you know, you are soaring in places that you could only have imagined. I simply align myself and then I cooperate with what life is asking me to do. So the book, The Miracle Mentality, teaches you how to get through the mundane, the messy, the madness in all areas of your life and embrace this miraculous life that you've been called to live. I don't see anybody as different. I just see them as human beings that need to turn a setback to a comeback. Part of problem solving is you have to listen first. And a lot of people don't listen. They're just looking to try to fix somebody or give an answer. So when somebody has a setback, what happens to them, most times they go very singular. They go really inward. So if they go through a divorce, they go very inward. Or they lost their job, they go inward. Anxiety or depression, pandemic, they go very inward. But when you have a setback, the first thing you got to do is you got to become awake. You got to become conscious. And you got to say, oh my gosh, we're in the middle of a pandemic and we may need to be locked down for a month. A month turned into another month and then over a year, right? So number one, become awake. Secondly, you have to take inventory. Where am I financially? Where am I with my job? Where am I with my mental health? How's this world doing? But here's a powerful thing. You have to partner with the right people. I feel that a lot of people, when they have a setback, they don't have the right people to partner with. So that's what I always wanted to become, and that's what I became. I want to be the person that somebody could link hands with and say, come on, Tim Story. You may not know everything, but you know how to get people from a setback to a comeback. When you partner with the right people, that means you're going to probably have to eliminate some people that are not the right people. And this is what I see with a lot of people that are in a setback. They need to cut some people back. And I say this about the power partnership. You have the acquaintance, which is the person of, we just know each other. Secondly, you have the partner that's more intimate. And then the third level is what I call the green room. The green room is that place that you go to that you are allowed to invite who you want in that green room. But they better be people of power, people of substance, people of a similar mindset and a mood set and motives that really strengthen you. Mindset to me is it's a perspective, it's a point of view, it's another vantage point. It's about in the midst of the mundane, the mess, and sometimes the madness that we can get back to magical living. I think you got to prosper where you're planted. Like if you are a freshman in college, prosper where you're planted. Don't always be looking at what I'm going to do when I'm going to graduate. Be in your freshman year. Be present in your sophomore year. Be present in your junior year. Present in your senior year. So as you prosper where you're planted, you're going to love this. And you build your spot. Life will put the spotlight on your spot. What I teach is that we all have what I call life interruptions. An interruption is a disturbance. You've had them, I've had them. It could be when somebody's young and they get ill, or in this case, my father passed. So it's a life interruption. And then when most people have that life interruption or setback, they don't know how to get out of it. And so that's one thing that I think created a calling in me, that I wanted to help more people that had life interruptions find a way up and out. I'm inspired by the little things in life. I have this saying that miracles are either coming or going at all times. My last book is called The Miracle Mentality. And to have a miracle mentality is to look for the extraordinary, look for the unusual, look for the uncommon. That inspires me. So I'm inspired by butterflies. I'm inspired by great conversations with Quincy Jones. I'm high on life. I really enjoy life. What a privilege to live. I'm living this life that is different, better, more magical. And every week of my life, I really go back to the innocence of my childhood. I go back to Motown music, the Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, because it clicks me back to little Timmy from Compton. Mindset is a different perspective.
And that perspective, from what I understand, it isn't just, change your vantage on the world or your perspective, but it can shift how you show up.
You begin to see those things that have not yet happened as though they're possible. A lot of people, they just think about manifesting something, but in the law of the harvest, I teach you got to plow the ground, you got to plant the right seed, then you got to water the seed, which is repetition, and then you'll reap the harvest. And I feel that some people, they get really frustrated in the plowing, the planting, and the watering, but they don't realize that payday's on its way. Prosper where you're planted. Life will put the spotlight on your spot.
First of all, look up. And then breathe. Think about what you want. Think about how you can help and who can help you. And then start thinking about how. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Surround yourself with people that are going to give you more options, more opportunities, and more touches of favor. Surround yourself with people that feed you and feed them. It'll be amazing, the difference in your life. Take my advice. Ask for help. Have an open mind. I promise you, each day will become easier. And pretty soon, you too will be an overnight success. The first thing I tell people is you can't find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. So many of us, as we explore within, we have to have the faith that there's something bigger than us. What are you doing today that you like? What are you doing today that you don't like? Start thinking about what you want and continue every day enjoying that consistently, persistently, in the pursuit of your potential. That's the best advice I can give anyone. Ask for help. Everyone wants to be Addies. You already are Addies. Let's figure out putting you at Dissies. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. I just got to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with it. And this 8 is interfering with my truth, my potential, my love, the light, and the lessons of the journey that I've been blessed with full appreciation, acknowledgement, and the ability to dream and to ask for more. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm going to change the world. There's no limitations in the future. Ask for help. That's the best advice I can give anyone. When you ask for help, everything extraordinary happens. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, they're injected into our system, which makes us happy. It's a biochemical proof of, hey, you're doing the right thing. For me, it's mathematical in the way that it works. We just need to listen to what's interfering with our ease. I tell myself, okay, the ego is from our brain here to protect us, right? It allows us to fight for it. We flee from it. We feed it in order to create more of it. And so when I know the ego's purpose, my life becomes easier. The ego's necessary. That's a long drop down there. Our ego tells us, if you and I went down there right now and I said, hey, let's jump down on the rocks, our ego would say, run. Don't do it. It was my ego that said, if you can look up, you can get up. It's that fear, right, that allows you to get up, get back up. But fear uses about 90% of your fuel to get you up. So we want to limit the amount of fear that we use, because eventually we need inspiration. We need to access the power we're given, not create power or acceleration with fear. So understanding ego, knowing it edges goodness out of our life, it edges gold out of our life, it edges God out of our life, whatever you think it does, but it will fuel us real quick to get up, get back up, get started. I need to be an expert at identifying fear. It's the greatest practice, I feel, if you have faith and believe in what I'm talking about, to utilize energy in its correct manner. So if I can identify fear, I can use it to get up, back up, when I get knocked out or knocked down. So you don't resist it. You don't try to fight it, go over it, under it, through it, around it. You don't have to lie to it, manipulate it, and cheat it. You don't have to deny it. Simply practice identify when you have a need to be right, or a need to be offended, or a need to be separate, or inferior, or superior. How about just anxious, frustrated, guilty, resentful, or angry? If we can identify when we feel the ego, intuitively how the ego is interfering with our ease, and instead of resisting it, just stop. And then breathe through your nose, out through your mouth, drop down to center, drop into the flow, drop into ease. Remind, remember, and recollect the source. Remind with, recollect with, remember with the source. If you can do that, stopping and dropping, you now can roll into what you want today. Who you can help and who can help you, how best to get that done. Reprioritize, applying your why in a trajectory to the unlimited, infinite possibilities and probabilities of the future, in a trajectory of probably what you think you want, but will receive even bigger and better, faster. So utilizing the ego as a point of understanding of, do I need to use the ego for this, or am I identifying the ego so I can stop, drop, and roll? Knowing that the ego puts our mind, body, and soul on fire to get us up, get us back up. So when you're on fire, what do? Stop, drop, and roll. This is the secret to what I teach in a very methodical way to increase the flow of the truth, your potential, love, light, and lessons that allow you to do whatever you dream of, or even better. See, prioritization, the antidote to procrastination and feeling overwhelmed, is a matter of understanding what's important to you. When you have your non-negotiables, you already get the most important things every day done. But now, according to circumstance, I get the next most important thing, and I can make decisions like this because I already know what's important personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise every day, in a trajectory that scares the shit out of everyone else, even me, for the future, because it's unlimited. I have all my prioritized things guaranteed done every day. I'll always be healthy, I'll always have great family, and I'll always utilize my time effectively. Now all I got to do is have what I want, who I can help, who can help me, how best to get that done, and then I'll be able to prioritize, because I always know what's important to me, and I always know how to reprioritize it. There's so many people that are full of hate, condition, judgment, ego. They don't understand they're in search of something they already have. Most people will tell you when they're in that mindset, I need to get more money. I need to get more healthy. I need to get more worthy. I need to get more happy. Because they're full of hate. But is it worth my time? Therefore, I'm feeding that which feeds me, not getting bled. And we're capable to live in an infinite world of unlimited possibilities, probabilities, and perspectives in the future. Pretty soon, you too will be an overnight success. Think about what you want.
We'll make